It's all right. Yeah, we already on. What's going on, brothers? Go ahead, man. Chill
What's
out.
up,
This is
man?
What Is the Man podcast. And we going live, man. It's Friday. The brothers are already chilling, as you can see. I want to thank the Most High first of all for y'all brothers. You know, being here, we done survived another week. Thank the good Lord, and we about to go through some topics, man. For real. I don't know if y'all brothers want to introduce yourselves. Y'all want to go ahead and start it out like that, or just to make sure everybody's name gets said right, make sure everybody get
Shit, they know us by now.
Right?
They know us by now.
They go to entitlement.
Hey, look, let's get into it. Then. You know, try to introduce themselves. Anyway, let's get into it then, man. Since y'all boy want to talk. Yeah, y'all boy. No, we ain't gotta do the street name. You ain't gotta do your hood name. No. We can go
You gotta do your street name.
We can go.
Oh, I'm Glock Low.
We can go ahead and get into the topic. You said what?
I said we doing street names. I'm Glock Low.
Ignorant.
We go ahead and get into the topic, man. I got a couple on. This first one might be a little controversial, but I don't know. But I'm hoping it'll lead us to a conversation. This one is additional. I didn't let y'all brothers know this one was coming, so I'm trying to get the raw from y'all right quick. Does the black community exist?
Yeah.
Community exists.
It's dysfunctional, but it is.
So Jabril, we're gonna go to you first. It's dysfunctional now, but it does exist.
Absolutely. Without the black community, the world wouldn't have pop culture. We are the creators of everything. To our dances, to the way we speak, we literally created our own language. Our food, our music, and everybody just copies that. So yeah, that black community does exist. It's just we're not functioning the way that we're supposed to.
I'm gonna ask, in what context?
Just in the context of community in general. You know, we hear, you know, these sayings like, okay, the black community is this. We as the black community, but are we really a community? Is what I'm asking. Far as a community of people working together for the betterment of those people.
Community, no. Collective, yes.
You say we are collective.
Yeah.
Expound.
So we just together.
Community, no. Collective, yes.
Explain that a little bit.
For one, if we was a community would come into support of others within the community, right? As a collective, we tend to do that from time to time. It usually takes like an extreme case of a murder or something to happen. But a community, you'll do your due diligence to make sure, for one, whatever rules you set in said community are enforced. What goes on in the community, everybody know about it, so it can't be no somebody just run up there, start pushing drugs and all that on the kids and all this and shit like that. But like I said, community, no. Collective, yes.
Okay. Blunt. I see you thinking over that.
Right.
Yeah.
Real ready. I already know he about to go with it. What you got, Blunt?
Well, that boy got that Malcolm X face rub going on.
I'm trying to think, cause like with Jabir and I say right, Jabir,
yeah.
Jabir, cool. I know I fucked it up last week.
No, it's good.
Jabir and Ace, like what they said, they're not lying, but it's just like I said, we can come together as a whole, but I think a community is like something like that's stands. You know what I'm saying? Like it's always there. It's maybe not 100% functional, but like I said, it doesn't like pick and choose its moments to like come together. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's like the only big difference. Like community is like another form of family, but just like family, you're not always up for one another. So as far as like actually being a black community, we pick and choose.
mm.
So
No, it's a D
I,
zone.
I like to add to like what Ace was saying. Like you had a legit point that I didn't think about. And if we were a functional community, an actual community instead of collective, then we could be identified as a nation. If we were identified as a nation, then we'll be able to get reparations.
Mm.
That's how every other country and people got their reparations, because legally they're identified as a nation, and we're the only people who aren't. So
Right.
technically, we're prisoners of war. That like it's deep, bro.
Hey,
Cause think about it. Cause think about it. Like whether you rock with these guys or not, whenever you see Reza Islam or whether you see Elijah Muhammad, all them, or Farrakhan, whoever, the Nation of Islam, you knew who that community of guys were.
Yeah, absolutely.
We really don't like I said, as the black community in a whole, we really ain't got that. It's just a collective. It's a collective of us. It's nothing to where, okay, them brothers in the suits over there, oh, we know exactly who they are.
Absolutely, that's facts. I think that's stems from discipline. The Islam Nation, they abide by discipline, spiritual discipline, where you don't. How can I put this? You hold yourself to a moral standard, no matter what. You know what I mean? In a physical discipline, where you don't drink, you don't smoke or nothing. You eat healthy, which to me, is that really that much to ask for? Like, to want better for yourself. So if you want to build a better community, you have to instill discipline. And back to what we was talking about last week, whose job is that to instill discipline?
Man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. It's the man. Y'all brothers potting already. So does the black community exist? Because that's the crazy part. When you really dissect it all, it's like they used to say it take a village. And it's like I don't know where that concept broke down at where we don't even know where the village is now. And it's like it goes to we always talk about okay, the black community. But is it really a community? That's why I wanted to pose the question. What you got? Oh, he got a slide. Okay, I thought he had to say something.
No, like I said, it's a collective.
Yeah, it's a collective.
It's a collective.
We lack those building blocks that other communities come together on. Like we don't look out for each other. We don't have a neighborhood watch. We don't have, and we know why. You know what I'm saying? It's not to of course disregard why we don't have those type of organized structures anymore or those type of tools amongst us anymore. And it's like I can't put the blame fully on those external forces because ultimately, you see what I'm saying? But I just want to know from the brothers. Go ahead, bro.
Nah, I completely agree, bro. That's the only thing I was gonna say. Like, I personally think that like it starts from the core. You know what I mean? The core of what each individual person believes in. And I believe the reason why we broke down as a community, why we don't have the village, is because our ego and pride got in the way. Can't nobody tell me how to do me.
Right.
And it's like, if nobody can tell you, how can you learn? You know what I mean? They say there's an old African proverb that says the youth can travel, but the elders know the way, and we stop listening to our elders. You know.
Hey, excuse me, not to cut you off now. Scriptures say pride go before destruction.
Absolutely.
Oh, and that's the crazy part. But when you say we lost touch with our elders, that's a crazy dynamic in itself. Because I love speaking to older cats.
Mm-hmm.
I know that I expect them to have some wisdom. You know what I'm saying? I expect them to have some information for me because I know I don't know it all. And I know they don't know it all neither. But each person got they got their own experiences to where it lead them to different conclusions. So I like listening to older people. But a lot of the older cats, their reasoning for not talking to the youth is they say they don't listen.
Yeah.
And when I talk to the brothers, they like, man, they don't, man, we ain't got no guidance. We ain't got no elders out here. We ain't got no older cats that's listening, that's talking. So it's like you got both sides putting the blame on each other. Like for real. But it's like that's go ahead, bro.
No, and I was gonna say is the truth is always somewhere in the middle. You know what I mean? Like the elders, they ain't delivering right. The delivery's wrong. So the youth ain't gonna receive it. And like the young, I'm gonna be honest. I've been young my whole life, I feel like. And young is a stupid, bro. We just do some stupid things. You feel me? And like I got children now and they for real don't want to listen. See, when I was younger, like you said, I'm always hanging around the older folks, wanting to learn and stuff. But we ain't I don't know how to bring them in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's hard to find that balance. Try to find that middle ground. Yeah, I feel that. I mean, and it's a deep zone because that's one of the key factors to having a black community in general is the bridging of the gap between the youth and the elders. Because at the end of the day, once we know and realize we need each other, like, hey, the youth know stuff from a level that we don't understand. And we ain't old, you know what I'm saying? Like that. I ain't saying but the youth, even now, at where we at, they still got a different level of knowledge.
Yeah.
That we have than we have. You know what I'm saying? And it's vice versa. But that's the thing. It's still that, okay, I can learn something from them. And they can learn something from us. So it's like if nobody bridging that gap, or if we don't bridge that gap, even with our elders,
and that's
nobody
right.
bridging that gap. That's the divide because that's how knowledge transfers right there.
Yeah.
We talk about how you know what I'm saying? They don't teach certain stuff, but it's like the connection ain't there. Somehow they severed the connection.
I think it's our generation it's our duty to make the connection though. Like in the words of a great sage named J. Cole, he said, I'm stuck between two generations.
Yeah.
And big bro and little bro all at once.
I felt it.
Yeah.
I felt it. Shout out to J. Cole.
I'm telling you, maybe you can get him on the podcast.
If he wanted to jump on the What Is a Man podcast, we'll definitely have Cole up here, bro. Now I'm sure the brother got a lot of wisdom. For real, dog. Like in two generations, man. For real. So it's like you gotta bridge that gap though, because that's the missing link, man. It's a lot of our elders that got knowledge on certain things that they just feel like, man, they done got tired of passing it down to knuckleheads that ain't listening or kids that don't want to hear it. For real, but
yeah,
get out. That's one of the keys to a black community, man. Blunt, you got anything to add, man? I know you on.
See, this goes back what we said last week about patience. Like the old heads have to have patience to teach the young generation something, but the younger generation gotta have patience to sit down and listen.
Ooh.
So that's what it boils down to, for real.
That's right. That's something hard to attain too.
Oh yeah, bro. You took the words out of my mouth. Patience. That's something hard to. Yeah.
I asked God for patience. He gave me kids.
Hey, bro. He gave you He gave you a way to learn patience. That's what he
Yeah,
gave you. For real, for real. You asked him for it, he gave you a way like, okay, this is you want it. This is how you gonna have to learn it though.
bruh. I be author fisting every day.
Go on up. It's deep though, man. I mean, that's a deep zone. We got to have the patience with each other. Cause we all made mistakes. We make mistakes now. Our parents made mistakes. That they still learning now. That's the crazy part. Man,
Yeah,
we expected to stop growing and learning at some point. And that's
right.
not the case. You're gonna always grow, you're gonna always learn in this life. And that's one thing I learned. When we say what is a man, at some point, that's what I'm learning. You can always grow and you're gonna never stop learning. Like for real. I mean, it's always things to, you know what I'm saying, sharpen you. So I mean,
Yeah,
if we can learn and grow together as a community like these other nations and nationalities and bring our resources together and figure out how we can build up each other and stop being so jealous and envious and you know what I'm saying, crab in the barrel mentality, all of these things,
that part.
we can have a community. Like for real, for real. That's what I feel like. I don't feel like it's no black community. I feel like we just talk about it. For real, for
All
real.
right. And to like piggyback on what y'all said, like giving the example of the Islamic nation earlier, one thing we are lacking that they have is that leadership that we honestly are lacking, like I said, the leadership because they all can point to somebody, look up to him, and be like, he or she says this, and this is what we go by. We just have our peers. We look at each other. And it's just like, I'm not about listening to you, kind of know what I'm talking about. Or it's just like, why we have to do it your way? What's wrong with my idea? Like, we don't have like that number one to look up to.
Hey, Blunt.
That's not in the entertainment industry.
Nah, cause you always lead me into the next topic, man. That's the thing. Like you always lead me right there to the next topic.
I'll be heading though.
There's a deep zone. When we talk about this, okay, we talk about the Nation of Islam. Now we speaking on the religious faction, but it's still black people. It's still the black community. You see what I'm saying? So these are the ideals that we go to for leadership. We go to these organized structures that are inside of the community, I guess, for leadership and guidance. But that's the thing. Who are our leaders in the black community? If a black community does exist, who are our leaders?
Charlemagne.
Oh, I agree. Hey, that boy got some wisdom.
T.I.
Charlemagne.
Killer Mike.
Yeah, Killer Mike.
I say Killer. Go ahead. Keep going.
Al Sharpton. Jesse Jackson.
I know one. Piccolo.
Yep, facts.
Hey, look.
Uncle Phil.
Cardi B.
See, but like you notice everything we're saying, it's all entertainment.
Come on.
Like I said.
Entertainers. Our leaders are entertainers.
So you mean to tell me we're still looking up to the shucking and driving Negroes like we still the court jesters? Basically, that's how I feel.
Right. We the only people on earth whose leaders are entertainers.
And I'll tell you one reason though. Why? Is because they kill all our leaders. Like Bob Marley said, how long would you stand and watch as they kill your prophets?
Hey.
Hold up, he ain't trying to pod, is he?
Hey.
Jabri ain't trying to pod. He ain't trying to pod, is he?
The question goes to you said they.
He ain't trying to pod, is he?
Was it we?
Huh? But get this. For example, what you saying, I can answer that perfectly. The oppressors will never have so much power if they didn't have allies within the oppressed. That's how all our leaders was murdered, because they had somebody on the inside that betrayed their people. We're the only ones that will betray their people. I was just watching a business guy that went to try to make a sale with this Chinese hair store. He was like, "Hey, how much you pay for this product?" They told him. He was like, I can give you to a lower price." And the Chinese person said, "You black folks just don't get it. It ain't about money. It's and it's a fact that every other nation recycles their dollar 7 times before it leaves their community. We're the only one where our dollar immediately goes to somebody else.
Oh, that boy trying to pie. That boy trying to pie.
Yeah.
That boy
It's,
trying to pie.
It's the truth, and that's the sad part. Because we
it
go to
is.
these, we go to other industries. We got to go to these other corporations ran by the quote
Other
unquote
people.
other people, other nationalities.
And this,
And go ahead, bro. I
my
mean to cut
bad, bro. I ain't even cut you
you
off.
off.
I think what it was stated that ours circulating what in the community. Well, the community for what 6 hours. When you go to
Yeah,
the white community, it's circulating their community for 17 days.
exactly.
Versus 6 hours of circulation.
6 hours, bro. So this is why I go out my way. I go out my way to support Black businesses, whether they support my Black business or not, because somebody got to make a change. I can only control what I do. You know what I mean? So I try my hardest to push Black financial stability. You know what I mean? Black financial education. Like, we have to first educate ourselves. But this goes back to the last one. It's the elders that's going to educate you. Some elders. Because there's a lot of folks like in our generation, we'll see like working at 9 to 5 for the rest of my life ain't going to cut it. It just ain't going to cut it. Like, you're in a constant state of survival. How can you build when you're trying to survive? You feel me?
That's real.
Not only that, oh my bad, go ahead, bro.
No, I'm done.
Not only that, it's just like I can't think of her name. Was it Camilla? Come on. That was just appointed like the first Black woman to be on the Supreme Court, something like that. I really can't remember.
Ketanji Brown.
Ketanji Brown, thank you. But you see how she's not a celebrity, and after after that happened like 2-3 months ago.
Yeah.
We never spoke about it again. Mother this had been an entertainer. Her name be in our mouths right now. So like the leaders are there, but if it's not, something then with like I said, sports or acting, it's hot for the moment. And that's it. Like, she's honestly one of my Black leaders. But who's looking up to her? Who's still bragging about her right now? That's not related to her.
Well, for her, she ain't necessarily a good example because she was a PR move because they had to put a person of color, preferably a Black woman, in that position.
I can see it
because of how the Democrats are moving now. So she ain't really a good example of that.
But she is qualified. She's like the most educated out of everybody on the Supreme Court. Most educated. Ain't nobody putting as much work in as she did.
And even with that being said, like, even let's say like if that wasn't the case, maybe not, I don't know. But still, how come she can't be looked at as a Black leader still? Regardless of how she got it, she worked her way up to that point.
We know this world ain't built for us to succeed. So whenever like I
said, I would consider her, regardless of how, a Black leader because she still worked her way up to that position, regardless of how she got it. But like I said, who's looking up to her?
Exactly. There's some little Black girl out there that's just like, there's a woman that looked like me can have that much power. Maybe even if she don't do right, maybe that little girl who got right in her heart can do it. You feel me? Like, one of my favorite was Thurgood Marshall. You know what I mean? Like, I remember it had on Black History Month in the Baptist churches, you got to give your little report in front of the whole church. That was Thurgood. Yeah. Oh, that was just me.
Oh, yeah.
I went to public school. That's why I went to public
school. I was. My mom was a teacher. Yeah.
What kind of report?
Just that's something that my I remember the church mother or whatnot, Black History Month, every Sunday, we had to give a non-entertainer history report because her husband,
a non-entertainer.
non-entertainer. Couldn't be no basketball player. Everybody want to do Jordan. You know what I mean? Couldn't be Jackie Robinson. You know what I mean? But we had to do one every Sunday on Black History Month because they marched in the civil rights era. You know what I mean? They were actually there, so it set different with them. So I think we need today is to actually show our children. We have to teach our children at home about the leaders in our community. You know what I mean? Like you can't rely on the oppressor to give you the keys to set you free.
My boy.
That's
essentially what's going on. And that's the crazy part because it's like a lot of folks won't call it that, but that's really the reality. It's like we trust them with the ability to raise us up to the same level as them. When in actuality, if the roles were reversed and this was the same conversation and context, would you, knowing how much you gained off of a certain person being at a certain level, how everything economically is designed for that, and it only runs if that is the case, like for real. So I mean, it's a lot of course, there's a lot of things in the background we can talk about, and I ain't got my tinfoil hat on tonight, so I ain't gonna put y'all through all the quote unquote conspiracies, and you know what I'm saying. But the brother hit the head as far as the Black community and us holding, we got a lot of hope in our oppressors, and we gonna say it like that's the thing, and that's the brothers that believe in the Bible. It's scripture that it would be that way, but that's the thing. We go to our oppressors for want of all things: food, shelter, clothing. You know what I'm saying? Everything. And that's because we don't own industries to create these things. That's why I asked, is there a Black community? Because back in the day when you talked about a Black community, or you know what I'm saying, it was because they had industries in place to where they served that community specifically.
Quick question. How far back in the day you talking about?
We can talk about Tulsa. We can talk about all the great times of Black Wall Street.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say that was a Black community. That's the thing. And they had, it was many Black Wall Streets out there. So the thing, Raleigh Durham had a Black Wall Street. So the thing is, that was community. When we talk about Black community, I look at that as like, okay, that was a Black community for real. Because you can literally go to your people for all things. So,
and bro, say something, bro. You just like you got the buzz. I need to hear something, bro.
I ain't got nothing. I'm listening.
But nah, bro. It's facts, man. I hate it now. Like I be trying to hire Black folks to do my stuff around here, but like there's only one reliable guy that I can count on. Everybody else, like I feel like for instance, I need some I had to get my yard work done. I couldn't rely on the guy that did it. But you know who was there? A Mexican guy. Oh, he gonna work his behind off. You feel me?
True.
Ooh, what did I say?
So what about preachers and community activists being leaders?
We just seen what the last community activist did. So I don't really know if we want to talk about her.
Hello, community activist, huh? Which one are you talking about?
What was her name? Because I'm
the head of Black Lives Matter.
Yeah. What's her name? Patrice?
Yeah.
Was it Patrice or something like that?
Patrice O'Neal, I believe. Don't quote me. I don't know.
We seen what the last activist did with quote unquote BLM funds.
Yeah. I mean,
bro.
I mean, and like I said, churches do the same thing that she did too. So
Well,
I mean,
I personally don't think that we need leaders. One specific leader. We need leaders.
mm,
Like for instance, that's how the white folks have been running it. They ain't had just one guy they followed. That's too easy of a target. If you cut the head off a snake and another one grow back, then how can it be stopped? You feel me?
right.
So that one leader that we all follow, that I don't think that's gonna work. Obviously, they've been killing them all. Marcus Garvey, what's the last Hebrew prince of Ethiopia?
That
The Cyrus.
boy trying to pie. Oh shit now.
Like
Hey,
when
Nat
we
Turner, don't
That
forget.
boy
any
trying to pie,
Pan
boy.
African. Yeah, like bro, I'm sorry. I just
Yeah. So when we talk about leaders, that's the thing. We don't have brothers like the Nat Turners, the Marcus Garveys of today. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's not.
exactly.
That's why I was asking, like, who are the leaders in the black community? Everybody named out an entertainer. You see what I'm saying? Marcus Garvey won't no entertainer. Nat Turner won't entertaining out here. Like, and that's the thing. It's like even Malcolm X won't entertain to an extent. It's like the leaders that we had is all
Were
we got,
murdered.
and they were murdered in a lot of cases involving our own people.
Mm-hmm.
And we ain't gonna same thing they did to Christ. We did it.
Mm.
Like it was us, the people. So that's
Sold out, bro.
that's what we do as a people, though. We sell out our leaders when we do get them. So
All
that's
they do
why
is
there even a black community? Because if there's a black community, it needs to have leadership that you can point to directly. That's not entertainment. That's not shucking and jiving. Is that what you want to talk about? That's actual leadership out here. And we know what happened to our leaders. We done pointed it out. They get killed.
see, and like I said, I don't think we don't need no more leaders because it's easy to take care of. What we need is discipline. What we need is honor.
Come on.
You know what I mean? If everybody follow this code of honor, how they go? They can't kill us all.
So let's go there.
Oh hell.
Let's go
I
there.
got a
What's
Oh
up,
got-
Nico?
I got a quick question.
what's good with you, bro? What's good with you?
So do y'all think that Dr. Umar is necessarily a leader within the black community? And if he is, why isn't he one of the people that's gotten killed? If he is, a decent leader within the black community.
I don't know. You want to go that deep tonight?
Absolutely. Hey, I'm with it.
Yeah. Pressure.
Well,
I
honestly,
feel like I feel like honestly in our community we choose entertainment over knowledge.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like even though Dr. Umar, his name is being spoke upon like everywhere, but like not saying like the stuff he's saying isn't knowledgeable, but like it's boring. So it's like people aren't worried about him because it's boring. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Which
They want
is
to be.
why like we're not worried about this guy because he's boring. You know what I'm saying? But like the entertainers, like yeah, let's see what Cardi B doing this week. Let's see what Migos got going on. But if something controversial comes up, that's when we like gravitate towards it. You know what I mean?
you know one way to sum that up, Nico. The best way to sum it up is also to what Mr. Blunt said. Umar don't hold no damn power. Umar doesn't have enough power behind him to radicalize the whole group of people. He's not a threat.
Radicalize.
He's not a threat.
So wait. So Umar Johnson, he do got a message now to him.
Like, definitely.
Bro really be like, sometimes he really be speaking facts. I don't know if y'all ever watched any of his interviews on like the Breakfast Club. Like he really be dropping some really good knowledge.
I think to like piggyback what Ace saying is like Umar doesn't have any pull, doesn't have any leverage per se.
He ain't got no juice.
Yeah. I mean
I feel like
when
it depends on what you're talking about, though. Like what topics, because that's the thing. We talking about black economics. So if we talking about, you know what I'm saying, the financial conditions of the black community, if we talking about things that, if we talking about those type of topics, his name come up, or Umar's going, because those topics are topics that we all can look to and say, okay, this is specifically what's going on. Now, when we get to the Pan-African understandings and when we get to what he spiritually believes, that's when I differ
like
personally. You see what I'm saying? So
like what I mean, like he doesn't have like any pull dealing like with anybody outside of our culture and race is what I'm saying. I feel like yeah, he knows this person, that person spoke with this person, had an interview with such and such, but it's mostly dealing with our community. Like what, you know what I'm saying? Like who does he have leverage with? You know what I'm saying? Like his name holds weight other than in the black community and what else community?
No other. But everybody know who Martin Luther King was.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But
I feel like Buddy was an agent though, so
but that's the difference though.
Who?
That's the difference though.
Nico went up.
Martin Luther King had enough power on just the small level that he had enough power to radicalize a group to come together for the Million Man March. That's a threat. That's a threat. That's a threat.
That's a threat.
Not necessarily a threat though, because like Martin Luther King was all about like peace. Like now, if you speaking on somebody like Malcolm X, now he was with the shits. Like Malcolm X was, you feel me?
Can I interject?
No, Nico.
Like he was ready to kill somebody type thing. But Martin, that's why I don't know.
Go ahead, Ace.
No, Nico. What I'm saying as in threat is to the point where this man had enough people that could rap. Now, whether he was moving how Malcolm was or whether he was more laid back, Martin had enough people behind him to where they deemed that man a threat.
Absolutely. Hey,
yeah.
I'm gonna put it this way. I was in the service, and judging by how the government classified terrorists, he would have been a terrorist. That they would classify Martin Luther King as a terrorist. Also, before the end of his life, Martin Luther King also started. Him and Malcolm X came on one accord. He said, "I may have integrated my people into a burning house."
That was my question. Was this before he said that or after he said that?
He said that burning house, and next thing you know, he woke up dead. Like
he switched up a little bit on somebody.
Yeah, because he realized that if we were to be integrated, we will always remain oppressed. And how do we know this? Look at us today. The FHA loans, a red line that has killed the black financial stability.
Oh, damn, he pardoned, boy. He pardoned.
I mean, let's keep it real. The government has conspired against people.
That boy pardoned.
Like,
hey, look, Jabril, you the MVP already. You the MVP already. That boy pardoned, boy. That boy pardoned.
It's real. It's organized. That's the thing.
It's facts, bro. And now that I know this from personal attachment. Like, for example, my grandfather served in World War II. When he came home, he was treated like a nigger. He didn't get no type of VA benefits. He died dealing with whatever he was dealing with. The only thing he was able to get was for his kids to go to college. But, for example, I bought my house off of a VA loan. Can you imagine the type of generational wealth that would have been built if back in World War II, if my grandfather was able to buy a house and to have land that appreciated over time? Do you understand how that would have changed the black dynamics within the country? You understand? So we were conspired against, bro. Like, and that's what Martin Luther King meant when he said it's a burning house. And then still to this day, Wells Fargo just got, like, I think last month they just got caught giving false applications to black homeowners. Like they was trying to apply for a loan and they knew they wasn't going to get it. They tried to apply for jobs and they knew they wasn't going to get it.
Oh, that boy.
But they just you do this for play for y'all, you know, so we can have still get that black dollar to come into our banks.
Hey, look, let me find my fire extinguisher. This boy going off.
It's real. No, it's
Find my
real.
fire extinguisher right quick.
It's organized destruction. You go right back to the point earlier. Would your oppressor literally put you to a level where you can stand next to him? You see what I'm saying? In all aspects.
But
the thing is, when we got to that point in America, or you know what I'm saying, historically, it's been snuffed out. They infiltrate, because at the end of the day, we can't have you at this level competing. You see what I'm saying? If we got anything to do with it, for real. Tulsa, Oklahoma was dangerous.
Dangerous.
Simply because of that. It's the fact that we had industries, we had, you know what I'm saying, hospitals, grocery stores. We didn't need outside influence. So that's how we were able to organize a community.
Self-sustainable.
Self-sustaining, self-sufficiency. Self-sufficiency is the key to switching up a government. Literally. If I'm self-sufficient, if I'm self-sufficient, I got a lot more say so over what I do. You see what I'm saying? Because it's like, hey, I don't go to you for nothing. For real. Food, clothing, you know what I'm saying? Shelter, none of that. So it's a different ball game. For real. I mean, y'all boy talking deep tonight though.
Hold on. Hey, bro, I'm gonna add one more thing. You mentioned it earlier. You was like, if we was in the opposite, if we was in their shoes, will we give them what they needed? And the answer is yes.
We would.
Because we've done it.
Facts.
This is history. You ever heard of the Dark Ages?
Mm-hmm.
You know why they call them the Dark Ages? Because that's when the Moors ruled Europe.
Right.
We rule with knowledge and love.
That's real.
You feel me?
The whitewashing happened.
Exactly.
Yeah. But that's real, and we would do it. That's the crazy part. Like logically, we as a people would, but it don't make sense because that's the thing. We wouldn't be the slaves if they didn't need slaves.
Oh, y'all boys trying to go to West Africa tonight. I see. You boys trying to go to. I see.
Every major civilization there is, if you want to talk about it. So as a people, so the thing is, if they didn't need us to build this one, they wouldn't have had slaves to build it. If you can get that's the thing. Would I buy the broom, or would I buy the motherfucker that made the broom?
Oh,
if I buy him, I'm gonna get a lot of brooms.
That's a strong one over there, boss. We better get him.
If I just get one broom, then what do I have? So that's the thing. We were the source.
And to just like make things like I said, like even like a little bit simpler, sort of kind of. A prime example: how many Black people own a professional team right now?
Ooh.
So like we can get to that level, but are we going to be allowed to get to that level?
Allowed to?
Absolutely not. By the time we get to that level, they're gonna knock us right back down.
But most of the athletes are what? Black or other. You know what I'm saying?
It's true. Facts.
So like we are just the entertainment. Like you said, we can like build up to that level, but that doesn't mean you're gonna let us in. Just like a little small example of something like a visual, like what you're saying.
Yeah, but the thing is, we was like, fine, we don't want to be part of y'all. So then we try to build our own, and then they'll destroy that. So what's the key for us to build and not fail? First, you got to
take over.
Nah, you don't need all that. I'm telling you, what you need is to be able to protect your own. Thus, having a military militia that is coordinated and well connected and educated.
Oh shit!
And that
Of course,
oppose
of course,
the
not
pillars.
for military.
Huh?
Of course, we're not advocating for militias or any of these things for any government officials, any FBI agents.
Why not?
I say, damn, boy.
Anybody that may be listening in, you see what I'm saying? That
Boy, they been listening.
I'm about to say, damn, hey, I'm about to say,
They
Jabril
been
trying to go
listening.
to Stone Mountain tonight, boy.
Stupid.
Yeah,
They been listening, but I'm just saying, they have the same thing out in the open, but as soon as black people do the same daggone thing, it's a problem.
yeah, I feel
So
that.
when are we as men going to stand up for us? When are we going to stand for our nation, for our families? While they sit around and
us as a damn terror.
Hey, I'm just
hey,
saying,
I feel like let me go get my whole tip hat on.
Oh,
Lamar Johnson.
boy, speak. You sounded like a real Pan Africanist over there, boy.
I ain't never read a Pan-African book in my life.
But look, Jabril, well, I remember like take over, like you said, like you're right. We gotta protect our own. But like you said, well, like I was saying, like as far as I mean, my take over, like when Diddy tried to get an NFL team,
Yeah,
wouldn't happen. They denied it. You know what I'm saying? Wouldn't allow it to happen. So like I said, at this not at this point,
He
but
could do it, though.
sometimes exactly he could. But sometimes it just feels like how they would do and just take some. You know what I'm saying? And then once it's taken by us, like you said, we have to learn how to protect it and keep it. That makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
that's exactly
Like you said, we try to make something of our own, and what happened? Look where we at today. Versus something that's already established and take it. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know if that made sense. I'm trying to think of a good example, but yeah.
That's right. We don't even own hip hop, bro.
Yeah,
We don't even own hip hop. We don't own nothing rap, bro. We don't own
that's
nothing.
facts.
That's us. We like to share our experiences. We like to share everything that we enjoy.
No, I'm saying like not as far as people coming and listen to. I'm talking about the overall market itself. We don't
Yep.
own
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. We're on the same page. That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, and guess and for those entertainers who did own them, they just suddenly died. Like Prince, like Michael Jackson, like Bill Cosby. He went down. That man had a lot of
Jabril, you want to go down that rabbit hole?
bruh, sir. I live underground.
We all get on Bill. God knows. Back to the organization and the strategy and all of these things.
I mean, hey,
we have to, because that's the key to a community. That's the thing. These are building blocks for a community. Protection, guidance, leadership, you know what I'm saying? Preservation. All of these are things that we don't concern ourselves with as far as the community is concerned. We don't necessarily care about our neighbor in preservation, depending on or protection or these things, depending on how close. Half the people don't even know their neighbors. They don't even know who stay next door. For real. So it's like you can't even say nothing to the kid up the street as far as, hey, why you doing that? Parents getting mad. So it's things like that that contribute to a community that we don't have already as it is. So when we talk about organization of men, the men got to come together mentally first, and we know that that part is going to be the hardest part, because we got militant men, if that's what we want to talk about, that's out here. The militance is misguided,
very misguided.
It's placed on other things. You see what I'm saying? And when we talk about the industry, the football, you see what I'm saying? When we talk about football, it's like these football, and shout out to my brother Jeremy Williams. He said, hey, there is no longer a village.
Facts.
There is no longer a village. And this is what we're talking about. We don't have that concept of community or coming together at all in any of these areas to where we can build enough trust in each other, build enough connection with each other to where you'll protect your block with your life for the right cause. So when we talk about militants and organization, we got that, We just don't have the guidance in it.
Like
The
Larry
brothers,
Hoover.
you see what I'm saying? And not to say go and just go on a tangent and destroy government, YouTube. We're not talking about that. But what we're
Right.
talking
That's
about
not what we're talking about.
coming together with the mindset of preservation of our people. And there shouldn't be nothing wrong with that at all. You see what I'm saying? When we talk about it. So that's the thing. It's brothers got to come together mentally on codes. That's what you were saying, Jabir. Codes. What's the code? You know, we got street codes, allegedly.
Not no more.
You
The
ain't got that
streets
no more.
different, bro.
You see what we don't even got that no more.
Takashi still breathing. So
Hey.
I don't know. There ain't no street code.
And this ain't the incite violence, of course. I gotta say this thing. But
yeah, not to incite violence.
Zimmerman too. You see what I'm saying? These folks, so it's no codes when it comes to how we deal with the other nations that deal with us. Our codes apply to how we deal with each other. And they're misguided as well. See what I'm saying? So it's like we brothers don't even know what the hell don't snitch mean. Like for real. They don't even that's confusing to the black community still. So it's like it's codes that we can't even get on board with.
They don't even know what it was to be a Crip and a Blood.
They don't.
They don't even know what it was to be that.
Nah.
So
I mean, hey, and the thing is, the gangs, hey, that's one of those militant organizations I'm talking about. As far as if you got it right or properly, or got it as like it was. And speaking outside looking in, of course, it could be one of those things that a Black Panther Party, or you know what I'm saying, those type of organizations that we had, because that's what it was supposed to be anyway. We were supposed to connect and come together with that, and those were the first line of defense for whatever area they resided in. The village. You see what I'm saying?
But my bad, bro.
I went on a little tangent.
Every time we do that, though, they take our leaders, like Larry Hoover with the GDs. He followed Marcus Garvey's plan for Pan-Africanism to build the gangster disciples, and he's locked up. They're doing the same thing to Young Thug. Not saying that he was guiding them right, but he at least got organization. Hit him with a RICO charge. Meanwhile, the Hell's Angels is actually profiting. They selling merchandise. They got an EIN number.
Hey,
like,
hey, the boy know the law. For real.
So,
unfortunately, that shit worked different, dog.
Yeah.
Man, and that's the thing. Hey, who was it? J. Edgar Hoover. He said the worst threat to America was the rise of a Black Messiah. I mean, so leadership has been the fear to the other nationalities for a minute concerning Black people or our community. That came from a presidential seat. Like, yo, we scared. We don't want that. Yeah. Rise of a Black Messiah. What does that mean? You see what I'm saying? Why can't we have one or two or three? You see what I'm saying? It's a danger for us to organize, because the problem is the source of what this place was built off of. If they organize, then they can build themselves something.
Absolutely.
See what I'm saying?
Then capitalism crumbles.
Right. Go ahead, man. Y'all boy about made me go to the next topic. Look,
go ahead, bro.
We've been leading ourselves
for the rest of the night.
Now you ain't, because this next one's gonna beat you up. We've been leading ourselves down this rabbit hole slowly but surely. Like, yeah, man.
Yeah, man. I'm taking that knowledge, man. I'm good.
I got you for this one though. Hold on. Subscribe to the channel, y'all. If y'all tuning in, this is the What Is a Man podcast live. Comment, join the panel. We boys talking tonight, yo. The next topic, this the kicker right here though. And we already talked about it a little bit, but everything done connected perfectly though. This is the crazy part. But next topic is, was segregation better or worse for the Black community? Was it better or worse? Jabir talked about this a little bit earlier dealing with Martin Luther King. So y'all already was on the track. Was
I
segregation better or worse for the black community?
say today segregation would be worse only because we don't like to support our own. Like I said, I think it was like the last one or one before that. Like I said, for some reason have a problem supporting our own. Whether we feel like it's not the quality we want, or like we want to pay like the amount for like set product or service, we don't support our own. So like, yeah, I feel like now segregation is honestly detrimental to the black community. And I understand like the whole, circulating the black dollar, the power of the black dollar, but do we honestly care about that as long as we getting it?
No. You
know what I mean? Like I understand like having clothes like made by black people for black people. But if our own black people don't even want to like I say endorse or support you, then at some point you waste your time and money.
Well, also to be fair, you can't start a brand yesterday and want to sell me a T-shirt for $150. You gotta build. You gotta build up to that.
You said that last time, and I even gave the example of a $15 shirt. And even I said a $10 or $15 shirt. It's like, you know what? I don't like the material. Man, I don't like the design of this. So not thinking to the extreme of like trying to sell a shirt for $150. But even like a $10, $12, $15 shirt, sure we can buy it, but if it's not to the quality we're used to and the quality like we want, we're not gonna support.
Yeah, because
plain and simple.
You got to build a brand, like.
And how do you build a brand?
It's a reason we flock to Reebok, Nike, Adidas, Puma, and all that the way we do, because that's brands that have been built over time. If you got somebody that just started something yesterday, yeah, I'm gonna be a little hesitant to shop with you. And I'm not gonna do it just for the sake of you being a black person. No, like you got to build that brand over time. So,
but like I said, how do you build a brand though?
Yeah, like everybody else did.
Start from scratch.
Yeah, like everybody else
did. Start from scratch, promote, and have that support
from their own community.
Thank you.
That's the thing. Like, for example, Gucci. Like, I can't stand it. Gucci said, "I don't want you. I don't want you black ones wearing my stuff." And what do we do?
Line up.
Flock to it.
Line up.
Line up.
We put the shackles around our feet on purpose. Like, man, go ahead.
That's real. That's a real reality. But the thing is, and that's what y'all talking about is industries, though. You see what I'm saying? And we know we don't. Gucci is a family. Louis V is a family.
Say it again.
Tommy Hilfiger, all of these companies, when we talk about fashion, these are families. Wells Fargo Bank, that's a family. But it's not our nationality, if that's what we want to say. So the thing is, when we do shop, it's to bring and build up those families. When we talk about segregation, that's why I wanted to ask the question: like, was it better or worse for the black community? Because prior to desegregation, we seem to care more so about the betterment of or the building up of the black community, opposed to what the next nation was doing. It seemed like we want more inclusion after segregation. Our mind was focused on the water fountain, and we can sit at the counter, and now we can finally walk into the restaurant, opposed to our people owning the restaurant. You see what I'm saying?
I will say this though. Now, was it better or worse? I'm in the gray area with that because I feel like even if you did stay segregated, at some point integration would have still happened.
Absolutely.
Now to the level that we know it to be now, probably not. But at some point, it would have still happened because, for one, there's no way that we would have lived here and been our own sovereign nation. That definitely would not happen. And we know that to be a fact. That will not happen.
So I agree, integration would have had to happen. I don't doubt that. My thing
Well,
is, because that ain't what we was, you know what I'm saying? Segregation won't to, on our side, it won't necessarily to exclude people. It was more so to build our people up first,
Which is true.
like everybody else do. You see what I'm saying?
It's true.
mhm.
So it made it, and that's the thing. Segregation was something that, excuse me, it won't like, it didn't have to be forced. You know what I'm saying? People naturally were dealing with their own.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
We just lost that mindset of, okay, I want to prioritize us first.
Mhm.
And that was our demise, I feel like. And that's the thing. We want more so integration. We want to be integrated so much so to where we'll lose the want to lead these industries, and that we'll just participate.
And I feel like, to figure out what you're saying, reason being is because, again, I'm gonna keep saying it, the support from my own community. Like I said, I'm not going to extreme as talking like $150 shirt, but like I said, even like a $15 shirt, if our own doesn't want to like promote or even wear it, but like somebody white does, we are not going to turn a profit, because if nobody's going to support us, what are we? If our own won't support us, what are we going to do? Not sell this product or do this service for this other community? We're not going to do it. And I feel like that's where we kind of like lost focus in from like back in the day. Yes, everything was like black restaurant, black people, black clothing. But then when our own started to fall off and wanted to like shop with whoever else, then we had no choice but to let others come inside.
Facts.
And that's the thing, though. Go ahead, my bad. What you saying, bro?
I'm just agreeing.
Nah,
I'm
cause
listening now.
I feel like it's segregation and desegregation. When we talk about just nation building and dealing with your own people, it's not in the racist concept, or
No,
it's not to be, you know what I'm saying, like, it's not to push anybody out. It's not to say, okay,
no,
we don't want to deal with y'all at all. But the thing is, it's with the mindset of, okay, we can own these industries too. We can own a hospital, we can own a bank,
Ooh.
we can own a grocery store. You know what I'm saying? It's just that. And the thing is, when you have that control over those things, you got a lot more say so in what goes down in the area where you had that control in. So I feel like that's where more so the fear comes in. Government structures, the less control they have over those industries, and unfortunately, a lot of our government officials and a lot of the people in power they just happen to be white people. So
even even like on a smaller, well, somewhat smaller scale, I can't think of her name. You have to excuse me, but the I guess director for Lovecraft Country that was on HBO
Mhm.
Max. So I read and I seen like a couple of like interviews and articles. The reason why it got canceled after one season, apparently a great show that everybody loved. The
Yep.
reason why I got canceled after one season because whoever the higher ups they wanted to buy the show or whatever, somebody white. But she was like, "No, this is mine. I created it. I can like you can pay me." And there was season two.
yeah,
They were like, "Nah." So right now, somebody can't pick it up like BT own, but that's the reason why. Like you said, they want that power. But like something that's already profiting, getting high ratings, you would thought it'd been about money. Like, no, it was about power. Like they wanted to control, they wanted to have a say so. And she was like, no. So they canceled after one season. So yeah, you're right. Like we
crazy.
can't have all of this, but like you said, when you have power, then you're scary.
And you can't succeed with fear in your heart. And that's the thing. Even though they killed and pillaged and did everything to all our leaders ahead of us, we can't be afraid to move forward. You know what I mean? Because even to me, because they did all that, is even more reason why we should keep pushing forward. I will not yield. Like, no, I'm a king. I am made in the image of God. I'm not, no, I don't kneel down to nobody. There ain't no lay down in me. But that whole concept, bro, like what Ace was saying is like it had to happen. I understand what you were saying, Ace, because economically, as a nation can't survive if it just stays within itself.
Yeah.
It would.
I say jumping jewels, boy. That man say you picking up what you putting down.
Okay. This wisdom, man. This all it is. If y'all know what I had to go through, you understand. But what was I saying?
Hey.
Oh,
you're going in, my bad. I ain't mean to
nah. Oh yeah. As far as a nation building economically, you have to have trade. Trade is what make the world goes round. There ain't no nation that stays within itself and can sustain itself wholeheartedly. The only nation that can make that happen is if the entire continent of Africa were to be one. And do you see why they killed everybody off that did Africanism? Like they killed everybody off because Africa has all the natural resources. It's absolutely massive. We can be digging for another 100,000 years and we will not even break the tip of the iceberg when it comes to minerals like lithium, when it comes to minerals like gold, when it comes to diamonds. Like, bro.
That boy speaking, boy. That boy potting, boy.
That's what Gaddafi was trying to do.
Exactly. And they killed them off. That's what Marcus Garvey tried to do. Killed them off. That's what Silas tried to do. Killed them off. And if we keep letting them do that and getting away with it, then they win. They want us beaten. They want us to quit. But let me. I'm done. I'm just gonna shut up.
Reality, man, and that's the thing. If enough of us rally together with the same mentality, the same mindset, that we will not see our leaders fall. We protect these entertainers. You know what I'm saying? We protect it. I mean, we talk about them enough to where they get blackballed. Like if enough people had a conversation of, okay, we gonna protect these leaders or these people that's actually have the mindset of the betterment of the community, they won't be able to infiltrate, and they will have enough time to actually build on something. That's the problem. It's so many people trying to catch the bag. They take the bag, whatever, by any means necessary, even if it means shitting on your brother.
Exactly, Cain and Abel.
You see what I'm saying? And we don't look at each other as family. It takes a village. The village was the family. We don't look at each other like that. The families don't even come together on nothing. Like for real. Yeah, the family supposed to be the first do business with. It's supposed to be your family. Imagine if every family, every household, from the time you were a child or your parents were kids, they had the mindset of, okay, we're gonna come together on business. We're gonna work together economically. We're gonna work together with gardening, with the food. We're gonna, you know what I'm saying? If they had that mindset, each family, especially amongst the Black community, you gotta be self-sufficient. Yeah. That's just something that you simply teaching in the house. Like for real. Build business, invest together, get land together. I mean,
facts.
Bruh.
Every household did that, then it's like that's generational wealth. I mean, life insurance, all of these things.
Power.
You know what I'm saying? That's power. Because then you'll have the finances to be able to get up, climb up the ladder a little bit more in these industries or create industries. Like for because you'll have a community now. Y'all have assets. Y'all have, you know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't standing in line for Jordans. Okay, y'all creating shoes like for your community. I mean, it's just like, go ahead, bro.
Man, I was just gonna say, I know a black person with a business in just about every industry.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like it ain't that hard. If you just
Come
once a
on.
month, just
Mhm.
be like, I'm gonna support a black business once a month. It starts there. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna be honest. I have a black business, and if it wasn't for white folks, my business would not be alive.
That's my question. Is there even really a black-owned business? If you got
Not
to
if you
go
pay
outside of
taxes.
your business to go to other industries for your sources, is the business black-owned? Is it really like worth saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's a black-owned business. If I still gotta go to the white man for what I need to even,
Me and Ace had a conversation some months ago, and
I know,
I'm
but me
looking
and
at
Ace
him.
had the same conversation.
I'm trying to see if he gonna backtrack to what he said. Go
Yeah,
ahead, Ace. You've been quiet for
I'm
like 10 minutes.
interested.
Say something.
Man, Ace been over there cooking up something, boy.
no, no. It's like, I mean, if we got to go outside of our community, is it really black-owned businesses?
No, me and Tyree talked about it. It ain't though.
I mean,
It ain't. If you gotta go get your if you gotta go get your products from somewhere else to do what you gotta do, it ain't. Not necessarily.
and that
Well,
ain't to knock nobody that's doing that. Do your business. You see what I'm saying? But it's just when we talk about industries, that's why, because we
it's
got to go to them for the source.
for
When
the
we talk
source of
about
the
like
materials.
Tulsa,
Oh,
they had to
And
come to us for the source of certain things.
and and so when me and Ace had a conversation months ago, I even brought up the
Mhm.
point of like, if that's the case, then like all these like there's like white people that have businesses. That's not, we can't say it's a white owned business either, because they have to get theirs from somewhere, correct?
exactly.
It's not just limited to us. We put a label black owned up there, but when you think about it, who actually has something owned that they don't need for somebody else?
Exactly. Because we know all resources come from Africa, black around nations. White, they said the African kings are the only ones who wears their own gold and not stolen gold. That's the same thing with this industries here. Like the cell phone companies, Samsung, Virgin Mobile, they have to get that cobalt and that on gold from Africa to make their things work. You feel me?
I
But
feel that.
even if I, let's say, even if I did get my products from a white company, they still putting their dollar into the black community because I am the owner of that business. You understand?
Mm.
I feel
It,
that. I feel that.
like,
I can see that perspective. I mean, 'cause
but
everything was stolen essentially.
it is.
As far
It's
as resource wise,
stolen.
the thing we talk about who controls the resources. Typically, it's not that we go to Africa and go shop with the, you know what I'm saying, those people that got it. It's we getting it from them.
Yeah.
So
We getting it from the
so
white man, regardless. So it's like
so
whether they got the plug somewhere else or not. When we buying it from here, a lot of these black owned businesses ain't exporting or importing. You know what I'm saying? Themselves, some of them are because it makes more
Yeah.
sense to do it that way. But 9 times out of 10, we going to the white man to get what we need, though.
But if you make
so
your, go ahead, Blunt.
oh no, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Nothing. I was just saying, like, back to what you were saying, if we would have gardens, like, for example, like for my business, I have own a massage therapy clinic. If I produce my own oils and make my own uh apparel, you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
that's all black. Like if I'm using the the plants and the fruits and stuff from out of my garden that I own on my land that's tax free. See, I think about that thing deep. Like
Yeah,
you feel me?
yeah,
And there's a ways around it. There's ways around it, bro. Like I'm watching people literally make their land and their assets tax free. That to me, if it ain't tax free, you don't own it.
exactly. And that's the goal right there, for real, for real. Because a lot of people don't even understand that concept. But you got to pay taxes still, and if I don't, they can allegedly come and take my possession. Then you don't really
Is
own nothing.
exactly. I hate that word permit too.
Yeah.
You got to get a permit to build on your own land. How?
And that's the thing, that we still on the plantation. Seriously. And it ain't just us, it's everybody. And it's by classes. It's class systems that divide us now. And that's the thing. Yeah, we got racism here or there, but through class systems is where the real problem is. Like for real, rich, middle class, and poor. And the middle class is leaving right now as it is on purpose. So yeah, I mean, getting the land and all of those things, that's the blessing, because that's what makes you self-sufficient. But they're making it hard. They're making it hard. For real. They're making it hard for you to really own and truly have ownership and freedom in general. I mean,
but personally, I think all of that wouldn't matter. Like none of that matter if you're spiritually sound. And I mean that. And what's crazy is this the spiritual soundness. I can connect that to science. That professors at MIT and Harvard study. The proven that there's a spiritual world that connects and interacts with our physical worlds quantumly. But that's a whole nother thing.
I've been trying to suppress my biblical beliefs the whole time, but I know what the Most High God said already concerning the matter. I mean, if you read Deuteronomy 28, God put us in this condition for a reason. So it ultimately ain't the white man that we putting our blame on. That's why I say it's our fault. It's the fact that we deal a certain way as a people is why we in the condition that we in. And we got to come together in that morally and then physically so that we can spiritually get right.
Man, that's facts.
That's gonna truly be our answer to the question. But in the physical, though, faith without works is dead. So we still got to come together and organize.
So let's take a yes or no poll then. Was segregation better or worse? Yes or no? Better?
I say worse.
Worse.
Worse?
Hold on. No, I say better.
Wait.
You said segregation was better?
Was or is?
Ooh. Was. The question on the board said was at that point.
Was segregation better or worse? Well, would we have been better off segregated? Or was desegregation better for the Black community?
I think as a yes or no, God, I didn't put myself in the picture.
You ain't got a yes or no. You can expound.
Well, I think it would have been better if it was on our own terms.
Okay.
Like we had to do too much compromising in order to be self-reliant. Like, cause I can't. I don't know how to put this, bro. Because technically speaking, we was already segregated in Jim Crow in the Reconstruction time, and we were doing better. We were doing better, but because it wasn't on our own terms, gave them the power to destroy us.
Right.
So,
that's facts. So was it better or worse?
Well, since you said was, which is past tense.
Yeah, past tense. That's the key.
That's because it already happened. That's because we're no longer segregated right now. So I can't compare it to right now.
Yeah, so you're saying was it better for the Black community? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
If we're going yes and no for was, yes, it was.
So now is.
Yeah.
Is it better?
Yeah.
Like right now, if we were to decide to segregate,
right,
will it be good or bad?
Nah.
Ace, what you think?
It'd be bad. I definitely say bad.
Run it back.
It'll be bad now?
If segregation were to happen right now, will it be bad or good?
Oh, it'd be terrible. It would be terrible.
Hey, you the balance in the group, bro. I swear.
Yeah. For real, nah, I mean, I feel like the conditions of Black people now, it'd be terrible.
It'd be fucking terrible.
I
Like,
agree with
Terrible.
like it's gonna be asking like right now.
that.
Yeah.
Where are we gonna segregate to? Fucking Atlanta? Like,
Not the A.
Oh, shit.
Not
what,
the
everybody, what?
Mobile,
All of us
Alabama.
is gonna
No.
go to what? Atlanta, what? Georgia and Florida?
Hey,
A. Not the A.
I'm just saying, if there's a will, there's a way. If there's a will, there's a way. If let's say we got every black person were to put their money together and we were to purchase land and then we were to claim sovereignty and then we were to start to build our industries within our sovereign nations. Then what? Then they're
Then
gonna
what
come bomb us all like they did last time. Because then we'll be a whole nother nation that's not protected on the rights. So that's why you got to, bro. It's deep. Because once you get that deep, you got to look at the entire planet. You can't just
Even if
look at America.
even if we did have
Whole world.
sovereignty, like if you, I mean, what sovereignty with no ally? So like
Exactly.
even if we don't have a military, we through anyway. So
I mean, so it's a lot more
Yeah.
organizing that the black community got to do, and that's the thing. I feel like prior to desegregation, we was at least on a trajectory for that though. Like we would have had a government to an extent. The thing is though, it's the occupied territory that's the problem. It's the fact that we are in a land where our freedoms come from other people.
Yeah,
So
and that ain't.
that I feel that what y'all saying is we can't segregate now here, not now. But I feel like back then the points it was kind of the beginning of certain industries. So
Quick
it's like,
question: if we were to be a sovereign nation, who would be our first ally?
you said what? Who would be?
Yeah, who would be our first ally?
You just for a name or like
What
ethnicity?
nation?
Oh, nation. Shit, Mexico fuck with us. I'm just saying.
It depends on what nationalities you consider to be black.
Oh,
I feel like there's a lot more nationalities that are involved with the black community than the black community give credit to. So
yeah.
that's the thing. We got a lot of allies as far as because there are people already.
Yeah.
Every time I like, as far as like deal with us as Americans, I was joking, I was serious. The Hispanic culture or Islamic.
I mean, when you look at the original Mexicans, the original Hispanics, they were darker hue. They were black people.
Bruh.
Original Indians were black. Original
Yeah.
Chinese were darker
Yeah.
hue. You know what I'm saying? We just talked about Europe and how Europe was black prior to whitewashing, prior to the
You say
the
Europe?
original
in
Greeks.
my honest opinion, I don't think none. Because if we were to become a sovereign nation today and try to claim allyship with anybody, how many people would oppose the rest of the U.S.?
Exactly. There's only I'm telling you, there's only our best bet. India, even though they're America's ally right now, military wise, that'll be the one that I'll try.
Man, black people ain't even nowhere near talking about a military sovereign nations, all of this stuff,
Man, you be surprised how many people was buying and turning their land sovereign. I met a Moor who the police couldn't touch.
Yeah, I've seen some understanding now. It's a lot of paperwork out there for real.
Yeah, but
that let you know like it's certain things that you got freedoms in that we don't know about. I mean,
By the way, I still don't want to. I don't want to segregate though. I'm gonna say that right now. I'm not trying to. This is just for the sake of argument.
I feel that.
And I ain't saying gonna fight no damn bear. I'm just saying. Oh shit! I ain't fighting no fucking bear.
This guy in the bear, boy.
I'm not let it be known today.
Help the bear.
Man, bro.
So that man said, help the bear. See me fighting the bear, you better help the bear.
Like currently where black people at now, we can't. It ain't. It has to be a lot of work done as far as the black community.
Yeah, we're centuries behind, bro.
Yeah, for us to be able to come together and actually build and talk about a serious, to have a serious conversation about actually sovereignty. For real.
Yeah.
Because we so divided, you can't even walk up the road without, you know what I'm saying, somebody mean mugging you or you about to get shot for looking at the wrong car.
Facts.
It's like black people got to come together on a lot more first before we can even get to that. For real, because if we keep killing our leaders, every time somebody try to rise up and lead us in a direction of doing better, we ain't gonna be able to organize nothing. And what Jabril was saying is we need multiple leaders. That's the thing. It's not just one man, of course. For real. So all the brothers in their own right are leaders.
Yes.
With expertise. So that's the thing. If we all come together, you don't know who the leader is. That's what power. You see what I'm saying? Where y'all so uniform, y'all so on one accord, where I can't even see, nigga, who the leader? Who leading you? Who leading these men? You see what I'm saying? Who leading these people? You see what I'm saying?
Also, the problem is we don't want to follow either.
And that's a reality too.
Because everybody think they're like, yes, we're kings, but a wise king knows how to compromise.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? For the sake of his kingdom.
They had to follow first.
Absolutely.
Real. Reality. So, man. Y'all brothers got anything else? Ace, I don't even know if you answered the question. Did you answer the question, man?
I did.
Yeah, he said, hell no. Okay, no doubt. Plain and simple. I like that.
No doubt. Well, I mean, that's all I have for y'all brothers tonight, man. It's crazy because the conversation led right where it needed to be at. I mean, black community got to come together. And once we come together, we can have those hard conversations, have the tough discussions. We can try to revive Tulsa. We can build a Black Wall Street. It's just it'll take us. I mean, it'll take the mindset first, and of course, it's gonna take the men. But I think our mentality's got to come together as a unit, as a community before we can do any of those things. Man. So, which I mean, we working though. I'm seeing progress. To be honest, down the black community, I'm seeing a lot more progress of people trying to come together and do more things and help each other out and build. So that's a blessing, but
yeah,
got to keep working, man. Got to keep growing. That's all. But y'all brothers got any final thoughts, man? Any last words? Any words of encouragement? Anything like that before we end up?
Did you say Europe or Europe? I heard you like in Europe. Is it Europe? You say Europe or Europe?
You say Europe?
Right, Europe.
I know. I heard it. We're gonna rewind that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I said Europe. I probably said Europe. Europe TV.
Europe.
Try to. Real. But nah.
I ain't got nothing.
That's it though, bro. I'm gonna ask y'all brothers what is a man though before we slide up out of here. Jabril, change for you this week? Is it the same as last week? Ace always it's the same. I don't even know what he said no more.
Go to episode 1.
Wind it back. Did it change for you this week though, Jabril?
Man, I'm always changing. It's all the same, but I'm learning something new every day. A man works on his, how can I put this? on his core values. Work on your spiritual pillar, work on your physical pillar, work on your mental pillar, work on your emotional pillar. Because without either one of those, your kingdom's bound to fall.
That's real. It's a deep zone. Man. Blunt, did it change for you this week, brother?
It did.
What is a man? What is a man?
After what we were talking about earlier, a man knows when to follow. You gotta put that pride to the side. I'm like, look, I'm gonna let this person take over. I'm used to being in the driver's seat, but let me be in the passenger or even the back seat for once. I mean, this person knows a better direction.
That's deep. That's real. That's real. Ace said he'll stay the same.
He don't even know what he's saying.
Remind me again.
Ace, what was yours, man? He probably don't even remember.
He don't even remember.
But when he come back, we'll see. But mine is growth. We never gonna stop learning. We're gonna always grow and mature, and age does not define maturity or wisdom.
For real though.
We gotta cut our elders some slack. We're gonna always grow, man. And that's one thing I'm learning about this life as a man. It's like you gotta be focused on continual growth. Otherwise, you'll stay stagnant. It's like so, I mean, Ace come in with the echo. What's the what is a man? I know he unmuted. Hello. He unmuted in the echo. Echo there, bro. My bad, man. It's echo. Hello. Here.
You still got echo?
Yeah. You cut the phone case. We about to sign out though anyway, man. I appreciate y'all brothers for tapping in, man. This was the first Friday night show we did. And we're gonna keep it up. What is a man? I'm gonna have some more topics. We're gonna try to y'all brothers already got some good topics. Blunt, I got you for next. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. For real. But we're gonna get right next time, man. If anybody watching on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, like, comment, join the panel next time, man. We got plenty of more conversations to be had. Hold on, who is this chiming in now at the bottom while we? I don't know who this is. Oh yeah, we about to end the show. Oh no. We gonna Jimmy Rizzo, we about to end the live, man. I'm sorry. We'll get you next time, man. It's the What is a Man podcast, though. Y'all jump on the panel and share your perspectives next time. And we'll see y'all soon, man. Y'all be blessed. All right, brothers.